Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. Welcome back to the rideshare bums, and welcome back to the insignificant trolls that populate my channel. This earbud's really pissing me off. Uh, it's me, Gio, the leader of the rideshare revolution, the rideshare rock star, the captain of the 2K club, the most hated, the most vilified, and the realest, the funniest, the handsomest, and the beardedest driver on YouTube. And go ahead and turn this this video up to 1.5 speed, and let's get this going. All right, so next weekend in Chicago, it is Lollapalooza weekend. It is a huge music festival here in Chicago. Hundreds of thousands of people attending each day. There's usually one really bad rain day each year. You know what? It's a big event, but I'm putting this video out there because I want everyone to know what to expect and what I would do if I was driving next weekend, which I am, just to kind of avoid headaches. It's gonna be a big old mess, just so you guys know. And so for this one, we're going back in time, right? So as you guys can see there, let me put on my draw screen. There we go. Boom, boom. Alrighty. So as you guys can see here, we're going back in time to July 25th to August 1st, 2016. I was still a relatively new driver at this point. I maybe had 600 trips under my belt, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Still didn't really get a good feel of the city. Still didn't really get a good feel of the market. At that point, I was relying on Facebook groups for my updates and my tips and tricks and all that stuff. And this was also before. This was before we had like the hourly limit set in place. Wait, let me go back there. Sorry, come back. So as you guys can see there, I did 30 hours and 32 minutes with only 4 days of driving. So clearly a couple long days. So let's look in here. So this was Friday of 2 years ago. 8.5 hours, $217. Not horrible, right? Look at the lack of surge here. I want you guys to notice something, because this is something I didn't notice until last year, maybe Saturday night. Look at something that looks, are you noticing how there's really not a lot of surge on a Friday night? It's kind of odd, isn't it? Lots of surge in the afternoon. So that was Friday. That was the second day of the fest. This was the Saturday. This was a bit busier. There was some surge last year during this fest. But as you get to see, I took way more pulls a couple years ago when I was still a noob. Right, but I did some long days there. So that was $332 for 12 hours. Long day there, 30 trips. But then again, all this was Chicago. There was no 10-hour limit in place yet, so we were out here all day killing it. So it was Saturday, and this was the Sunday. And this was on top of my full-time job, guys. This is me working 55, 60 hours of my full-time job and then driving on the weekends. So I was no stranger to putting in long hours even back then. So there we go. I want you guys to, man, that was a decent ride. Check that out. But better not show addresses. That was 2 years ago. They probably don't live anymore. All right, let's not do that again. All right, so that was 2 years ago. I did $791 with 30 hours on the app. Not awful. Was that maybe 25 something cents an hour on app? Not horrible, right? All right, let's go back to last year. That's where I'm at for this week. Did not want you guys to see that yet, but whatever. I don't keep secrets from my subscribers. I refuse to do that. So we're going to go back in time to last year. Because like I said, I want you guys just to take a look at these earnings and kind of get a figure of what's possible for you guys. And things will be different for me this year because this is the first year I'm doing it overnight. So that was Lollapalooza weekend last year. This is probably my best week of the summer slowdown last year. As you guys can see there, 14.29 for 56, nearly 57 hours. Really slack during the week, as you guys can see there. Monday it's $79, Tuesday $123, Wednesday I didn't clear $200 until that Friday, so check that out. So that Friday, again, no hourly limit in Chicago at this time, so biggest day of the week, but had to do 13 hours and 20 minutes for it. But check this out. I want you guys to be aware of, and I'm showing you these numbers on purpose. I want you guys to see something, see if you spot a trend. Very, very little surge, right? 4 rides after midnight that were surged. I mean, I did, typically on a weekend, I'll do maybe 8 to 10 rides between midnight and 4 a.m. that are surged. Not this weekend. So that was the Friday. This was a Saturday of last year at LOLLAPALOOZA. Again, look at those numbers, guys. Look at very little surge. Very little to next to no surge. And I'll explain why that is in a minute. So that was nearly 10 hours on the app last year, and then Saturday kind of bummed it. So yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. The reason, let's go back to my drawing app. The reason there's no surge is because I have a theory that a lot of drivers all kind of think alike, right? They all kind of think that it's LOLLAPALOOZA, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people down there, there's going to be so much demand, so every driver gets the same idea, the same bright idea, and when every driver gets the same bright idea, that's when there is no surge. So what you have is you have 100,000 people looking for a ride right here. Ugh. Why is that so big? Come on, guys. You have 100,000 people looking for a ride right there, and you have 50,000 drivers hanging out in the same area. And the traffic getting out of Millennium Park next weekend will be god-awful, and I'll tell you why. Typically on a regular week, we can travel through all of these streets here. We could travel through all these streets here, right? Sorry guys, I'm doing this for my car. This is awful. We could travel down Lakeshore Drive. We could travel down Columbus. We could travel down Michigan Avenue. Typically without issue. There will be heavy traffic during the morning and afternoon rush. Now the traffic, go ahead and quadruple it this week. It's going to be insanely god-awful because of the fact that this street right here, Columbus Drive, is completely closed off because of the federal. So that causes so much more congestion, and traffic will be just miserable. So here's what I suggest to anyone who is driving next weekend to LOLLAPALOOZA. If you get a pickup, and obviously they're going to LOLLAPALOOZA, ask them nicely if they're okay to be dropped off before State Street. Sorry. If they're okay to be dropped off around here if you're heading from the west, or if they want to be dropped off after the river, like right around here if you're heading from the north. And if you're heading from the south, sorry. And if you're heading from the south, you might want to drop them off closer to here, closer to Roosevelt, because if you end up on this area here, if you end up driving here, what the hell? If you end up driving here on Michigan Avenue by Millennium Park, you will be completely stuck. The car will not be moving. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people walking, thousands of thousands of people driving. It's going to be a nightmare to get out of there. So if you're driving next weekend and you drop people off at the festival, just ask them nicely, be like, hey, you're the passenger, it's up to you, but you're going to get there way quicker if you just get out and walk a couple blocks. And every time I did that last year, they were like, yeah, that's fine, thank you. And then they got out of the car. So I see them walking along all happy and smiling, and I'm stuck in traffic just laying on the horn. So yeah, that's my advice to anyone driving next weekend. Don't be afraid to ask drivers if they're okay to get out and walk for a little bit. It's way quicker than hanging out in the car. And the other advice I'm going to give you guys is um, the festival starts wrapping up around 10 to 11 o'clock at night. And that's when people start requesting rides. Again, I checked all the time last year. I didn't see much surge because there was a lot of drivers in the area. If you want to play it smart next year or this weekend, I honestly think don't even drop off at Lollapalooza and then leave. Don't hang out in the area. If you want to maintain your sanity and you don't want to be just staring at brake lights all day, the best approach might be to just hang out there, drop off, and leave. And when the festival's ending, try to be as far away from it as possible. It will be a very busy weekend. I'm not going to promise you guys a lot of surge, but you will not be waiting for rides long. But there will be rides all over the city, because this is something we have on our side. Is if you're watching my channel, sorry, if you're watching my channel, then you're getting the knowledge of someone who has expertise. And I'm telling you, I had no issues getting rides last year, and I avoided Lollapalooza like the plague. Okay, sometimes it's not about getting surge rides. Sometimes it's just about getting stacked pings. And I would personally rather get rides, complete rides, than stare at brake lights all day. That's me. You guys do your thing. I just want to give you guys this video, just give you a realistic expectations of what to earn, a little bit of insider info, and things to avoid, stuff like that. Definitely puke bags are a big requirement next weekend. Just like St. Patrick's Day, I would suggest getting a fitted sheet and put it over your back seat, because if it rains, your seats will maybe get dirty. And I think that's pretty much it. Just treat it like a party weekend. Treat it like it's, Halloween or something huge, because that's what it is. It's hundreds of thousands of people out and about partying hard and looking for a ride afterwards. So other than that, hope everyone takes care out there. I'll be uploading a new video as soon as I'm done recording it. I want to thank y'all for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe during the Rideshare Revolution. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.